Welcome to the Soft Life Wellness Yoga Inspired Flow. Let's take this time to center ourselves and find balance and create space for peace in both our mind and body. We're going to start off in child's pose. You want to sit at the end of your mat, big toes together, knees slightly open, both at the edge of each side. You want to reach forward and fall in between your knees. You want to stretch. You want to release that spine. You want to open up your hip flexors. Make sure your glutes are very close to your knees and your ankles. And you just want to fall into and rest into this pose. You want to breathe in and out. Just relax into the pose. If you ever find any difficulty during the practice, this is your go-to pose when you want to rest. We're going to stretch over to the left side body. And we're going to stretch. It helps to have your hands up on your fingertips just for that extra stretch. And you want to go over to your right side. Stretch. Stretch that side body. Breathe into it. We want to stretch, elongate our spine. We want to relieve it. This is a great pose. Child's pose is very good for opening up your hips. We're now going to transition to our tabletop position where we're going to do our cat and cow. So we're going to round up the spine and look up, and we're going to exhale into cow. Squeeze those shoulders, squeeze those glutes. Breathe. Exhale. Inhale. You want to find your pattern of breath, and with each movement you want to make contact with your breath. So breathing in, up. And we're going to transition to puppy pose. You want to open up our upper back. You want to reach your arms over to the top of your mat. And you just want to fall down. Bring your chest to the ground. Have your arms straight. And you want to keep your knees bent and your glutes up. Just breathe. Gaze forward. And just breathe into the pose. Next, we're going to open up. And we're going to come back into tabletop. And we're going to twist into our thread the needle pose. So you want to lift up and thread your right arm through the left side. And you want to stretch out your left hand onto the top of the mat. And you want to try and align your shoulders as much as possible. They're not going to come into straight alignment, but you just want to open up your back muscles. If you had any tension in there, this is a great pose for relief. Just going to breathe into this pose while gazing straight ahead, and then we're going to lift up and we're going to thread the needle into the other side. So left arm goes through right, and right reaches all the way to the top of your mat. Breathe. We're going to come up into tabletop again, and we're going to transition into our downward dog. So you want to tuck in your toes, bring your arms up to comfortable lift, and you want to lift your glutes. You want to push up and create a V shape with your body. Heels extend all the way to the ground, and if you can't reach, just push them as far as you can. You want to walk it out. If your hamstrings are tight, which they probably are, you just want to walk it out so you get into a much more comfortable position. You want to roll yourself forward into plank, knees on the ground, chest forward, chin, and you want to come up to upward dog. So push up with your arms and your hips towards the floor. You want to roll back into downward dog and breathe. We're going to go plank again, chaturanga down. You can continue with the knee, chest, chin, and come up again into upward dog and transition all the way back into downward dog. So what we're doing is we're creating a wave. We're going to lift up one leg, your right. You want to bring it in between your hands into a high lunge, and you want to bring your arms up. If you can't bring your arms up, you can keep your legs. You can keep your hands next to you in a high lunge. If you can, bring up your arms into prayer on top. Bend one knee, reach both arms up, and you want to lean backwards. as far as you can. You don't want to overextend, but lean as far as you can. Bring your hips deep into the stretch. Make sure everything is in line and your hips are facing forward. You want to bring your hands down on either side of the leg back to the mat, and we're going to lean back into half split position, and we're going to stretch out those hamstrings. Stretch them out. If you can touch your head to your toes or your head to your knee, touch them. You want to point those toes forward, bring those toes all the way back into facing you. I don't want to see any pointed toes. My hamstrings are still tight, and if yours are not, you can go deeper into the stretch. And we're just going to breathe into the stretch. Breathe into those hamstrings. Breathe into the painful areas so we can relieve the tension. You want to lean forward again. Just rock carefully. We're going to take it an extra mile, and we're going to stretch out our side foot. Okay, there's a lot of tension there, and this is a place that really gets stretched. So you just want to pull your toes inward. If that's too uncomfortable for you, you can just continue in the half split position. Yes, we're going to transition back into high lunge. You want to step back into downward dog. Breathe. You want to roll, wave your body all the way into a chaturanga. I went back to the first step just in case we have beginners, and you just want to copy me. Into your knees, chest, chin, upward into upward dog, lean back, and we're going to switch into the left side now. High lunge, breathe, bring your gaze up, get as low as you can, make sure your knees are below. Your front knee is behind your toes, and you want to deepen into the stretch. Make sure your hips are aligned. You don't want any misalignment. And we're going to repeat the exact same that we did in the other side. So we're going to go into half split. Bring those toes all the way back into your face. Breathe into the pose. If you can come down onto your knee, you can. Make sure your hips are aligned. You don't want to be misaligned. Your hips should be square to the front, and both of them should be aligned with each other so that you don't have any back injuries or back pain. We're going to pull the other leg again, the other foot. You want to pull it towards the middle and breathe. It's definitely an uncomfortable feeling, but we never stretch that part of our foot, and we're constantly walking every day. So we do want to give it relief by just stretching it out. You want to transition back into high lunge. Tucking your back toe up and straightening your knees. You want to step back into downward dog. Make your body into a V shape, and you want to wave through into plank, and you want to chaturanga down. If you can do the advanced version, you should. But if you're a beginner, you want to bring knees, chest, chin down, and you want to transition into upward dog, and then push back into downward dog again. By this time, you should be more comfortable and deeper into the downward dog position. You want to have your arms aligned with your ears. Back into tabletop position. You want to bring your feet up to the side. You want to sit flat onto the ground. You want to face the top of your mat. Have your legs straightened out in front of you. Feet flexed, and you want to reach up and forward fold. You want to hinge from your hips. I don't want to see any rounding of your backs or shoulders. You want to hinge from your hips and go as far as you can. As you can see, my hamstrings are very tight. But the goal is to touch your toes. If you can, grab your big toes and just breathe into the stretch. You want to come up again with your arms straight up. Bring them down. You want to shift your weight onto where your feet are and let your knees fall apart into butterfly pose. You want to lean forward as far as you can. This is great for opening up your knees, your hip flexors, stretching your inner thighs, and you just want to breathe into the pose. And with every breath, you want to go deeper into the pose. If you can put your chest onto the ground, you can, but if you can't, just breathe and go as far as you can. We're going to bring those knees together, and we're going to lie down flat onto our backs. You want to stretch. Bring your knees into your chest. Sorry, almost made a mistake there. You want to rock side to side. You want to give your lower back a little massage, your kidneys a little massage. Just relieving your lower back, relieving your spine. We're going to go into happy baby. You're going to grab your big toes or your ankles if you can't reach. And we're just going to pull our knees into us, towards our body. You're just going to rock. Just rock. This is also a great pose for your lower back. You're going to just rock side to side. Straighten your legs. And we're going to hug our knees. You want to bring your head up into your knees, and you're just going to hug them. And then we're going to reach our legs straight onto the mat, each leg on each corner, and we're just going to sink into the ground. Breathe and let go of anything, let go of any tension that was there. Come back to your body, just let it sink into the ground. Feel heavy against your mat, and just sit in this pose. Breathe in and out. Focus on your breathing. And you can sit here as long as you like, as long as your body allows, as long as you need. But I am about to end the video here. Thank you so much for joining me in the Soft Life Wellness Club. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow for more exclusive content. I'm going to come out of the pose, but you're welcome to sit in it. Namaste.